Hi you guys, Kelly here with another video in the Not Your Basic Witch series, also known as the Limited Palette Challenge. I made it so I can call it whatever I want, okay? Today's prompt was kind of like enjoying a relaxing cup of tea while floating, because a relaxing cup of tea can make you float, just in case you didn't have a broomstick, just so you know. That's what it does. So I really like this one. I feel like this is the culmination thus far of everything that I've screwed up on the other ones and learned from, because there's probably not a thing that I don't like about this one. Like, seriously. I've done nothing but like kind of complain on all of the other illustrations about this thing that I screwed up or this other thing that I screwed up, and like the occasional thing that I like. No, I like everything about this. So let me tell you why. This is the first one that I did not use color pencils, and that was just because I wasn't trying to hide any mistakes. It didn't have anything to do with the color pencils. So I picked the colors that I really liked in the last couple of like pink, purple sort of illustrations, and I tried to stay away from really dark greens because, again, crutch. Don't worry, I'll come back to them tomorrow, probably. But I tried to stay in a much more pastel setting because I'm all about that. If it's not like dark and covered in skulls, then it's pastel and lovely and full of unicorns and I don't know, something like that. So I wasn't covering up mistakes with color pencil. I was enjoying my color palette. I did have a couple of places when I was inking where I didn't do a very good job inking. So I tried to fix that, I say fix in air quotes, by going over some of the lines and trying to adjust them. Because when I made my sketch, I went in really loosely. I had pencil marks everywhere. And side note, the green color of Prismacolor Colorase pencils is not waterproof, and if you leave it anywhere, it will make big green smudges, just so you know. I did manage to avoid that for the most part, and was able to like turn it into something that was fine in the piece. So I'm not going to tell you where, but I bet you can guess if, you know, you look closely towards the bottom under the left-hand foot of the table. I like how I said that, left-hand foot. We're doing really well today, guys. In any case, so I tried to go around, basically I screwed up part of her foot and next to the wrists of both of her hands. And I was like, we can fix this. Like, this is my favorite sketch that I've done thus far. Like, I'm not gonna get bent out of shape about it and go around and fix it. So I started to outline again where I had already put down ink, where I'd already started to line it. And I wound up kind of doubling my lines. Like, in some places it does actually overlap, but in a lot of places it's actually two very thin lines next to each other. And I liked it so much that I went around and I did it on everything. Like, everything that is a major piece of furniture, and all over her kind of outline, the outline of the window frame, like everything I think about the ghosts, the stuff on the table, and the like sky background has a double layer like line around it. And it's a little wibbly wobbly, which is good because I don't have the most steady hand, and I actually really liked it. I liked it so much that I'm going to add that to my pieces from now on, because it made me a lot more confident with where I was placing my lines, because I knew that there was going to be this added sort of depth. And it's very helpful for when I don't have perfectly straight lines. I do like my pieces to be not, I don't want to say not perfect. What I'm thinking is not completely in the lines. I like when the color sort of spreads out of itself, which is why a lot of the time I don't line my work until after I've already painted it so that I can kind of fudge lines where I want them to be and let the hair expand or let clothing expand. Like, I put her bottom pinkish hair color on before the background was wet so that it smudges out into this soft pink color, and I love it. I'm all about that. There are places where I don't want things to smudge, but in general I do actually enjoy that. So, not been out of shape about it. So I started doing this double line kind of thing in this, and I'm really happy with it. I got the colors that I really enjoyed. This window that I'm working on, super proud of. I am actively trying to learn how to paint like smoke and to paint, I guess smoke is a good way to put it, kind of like ethereal lines. So even though there's no practical reason for there to be like sketchy cloud looking things out there, I'm doing it. I'm down with it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I still like the way that it looks, even after the fact. And I wanted to really take advantage of the dark colors in the indigo because I don't really like the darker shades in it because I don't use it nearly as much as I thought I would in this series. So I mostly use the indigo and like a touch of the other blue and just kind of popped it in wherever I felt like it. I really liked it. It was very not coordinated. It was very much like, I feel like a lot of this was, I think that I like this color. Let's put that there. That was like my entire attitude towards the piece, and I enjoyed it so much. One of the things that I have learned from the last couple of paintings is that I am really bad, especially on these bigger sheets, with my perspective. Like, I know there's a word for it aside from perspective, but basically when you are looking at a piece head on, if it's on a wall, you're looking at a 90-degree angle. And when you're looking at a piece on a notebook, you are not at a 90-degree angle, but you are still thinking and trying to draw it as if you were looking at a 90-degree angle. So when you take your sketchbook or your, sheet of paper, also note my hair in the background, sorry there. When you are drawing on a sheet of paper or in a notebook, then you naturally try and draw it the way that you think it should look if you were looking at it and it was on the wall, and it's not. So when you pick it up and make it actually straight, then everything is elongated. And I've been really bad about that, especially in my faces, for basically every illustration of this series. And I don't have one of those desks, like the architect desks or like tilt desks that I can use to make my art when I'm like actually sketching it, when I'm drawing it. I don't have anything that I can really use to prop it up in a traditional manner. So what I did is grab like 6 of the scarves that I own, which is not even half of them. Like, I do have a problem. Let's just start right there. I grabbed like 6 scarves and I layered them on top of my sketchbook just because it was a bigger book on my desk. And then I took this like pad of paper that I have that's enormous. It's like one of the bigger pads that you can buy that I don't even use. It's just like paper that was given to me, and I have it sitting under my desk with all of the other empty sketchbooks. There's a lot of those too, another problem. And I just kind of angled it on top of all of my scarves until it was sort of at a height that I liked. And I did my entire sketch on this paper at that angle. And I kept picking it up and looking at it to make sure that I liked the perspective, so that when I went around to ink it, I could ink it on a flat surface. I didn't ink it on that angle because once I had it where I wanted it to be, I knew that those lines essentially were where I wanted them to be, and that there wasn't going to be any sort of weird warping of, like, especially the face. And I think that worked in my favor. So this is what my piece turned into. You might also notice that there's some stuff on the windowsill. It's like earth, air, fire, and water. There's like a candle and a plant and some incense and a little jug of water because I'm all about that. And also, I've got 3 little cute ghosties. And, on the pot of tea, there's a sort of sun emblem. You might notice that that is very similar / I'm all about this because I love this movie, Tangled. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any suggestions or comments at all, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. And go make something, my art nerds. Bye!